to my home here at the Red Brick House. Earlier this year, I challenged myself to finish my unfinished objects this year, or my UFOs. I have been working toward that goal all year, and I think I've been making pretty good progress. And today I want to work on this little number right here. This is a little piece of embroidery work that I started maybe 2 years ago, and I was very new to embroidery. I hadn't ever embroidered anything, and it sparked my creativity because I found this cute little kit. Now I've kind of taken the kit apart, but I found this cute little embroidery kit. It had never been opened, and I found it at Goodwill one day. And it's called Sew Boho, Everything You Need to Stitch 12 Boho Chic Designs by Kelly Fletcher. And this little book gives you instructions on how to do all different stitches and how to make the different things. It came with some iron-on transfer papers, and then it also came with a hoop, your thread. It even came with a needle. I mean, it came with everything like it says that you would need. And so I created this little design by taking different pieces from the papers, and I ironed on several different transfers and kind of made my own design. And my plan for this is to make it into a cute little pillow. I'll probably use this pillow in my little crafting space, as maybe in my chair, because I use these little antique chairs. And they're adorable and I love them, but they're not very comfortable for my back, especially when I'm trying to sew on the sewing machine. And so I think this will make a great little pillow to sit in my chair and just help my back out while I'm trying to craft. So let's get started finishing up this cute little pillow I'm going to make. Okay, so here I'll show you kind of a close-up. You can see where I have my iron-on transfer here, and this is, of course, what I've already completed. So I think I'm going to work on these. They call them like they're supposed to be wings, and I'm going to do those in yellow. So this little book, this little kit that I got, it goes through, there's some of the transfers that I used there. It goes through, I really like this one. I really like that one. It's so pretty. Anyway, it goes through a lot of information of how to do different stitches. And, but then here at the back, that one's really pretty too. Here at the back, it tells you like their kind of recommendations for some of these things. And so for the wings, it says to outline the circular wings in a chain stitch with 3 strands of yellow. So I already have, and this is the yellow that it came with. It seems pretty thick though, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna outline those with a chain stitch and then embroider the starburst inside each with pistol stitches using 2 strands of yellow. Okay. So I'm following along here. I have not done a chain stitch before. I think I might have, but I think I forgot how to do it. Okay, so they have the thread pulled around like this. And then we're going to go back in at B, which would be where we just came out of right here. And we're going to, and I'm going in a circle, so it's a little bit harder than what they're doing. They're just going in a straight line, but we can do it. And there we go. And then I think we just keep going. So we move that out of the way. We go back in here, and then around here. I'm trying very hard to stay in a circle and not pull this too tight, it says. Okay, I have finished my chain stitches around. They're a little wonky, but you know, it's okay. This is a learning experiment. Now I'm going to try this pistol stitch, which I believe I have done before. I'm going to wrap it 3 times, and instead of going back down there, I'm going to go there. So I'm going to hold this tight, pull that to the end. Wait a minute, I think I might be doing it wrong. No, I am doing it wrong, because then, oh, I shouldn't have came up. I should have come up in the middle. Okay. Well, I don't want to do it wrong, so I'm going to take my needle out. I'm going to take my thread out, and I'm going to start over. So I will rethread my needle. No big deal. I'm glad I realized it before I did it. Like I said, I haven't done these in a long time. So I need to come up in the middle. Let's try that. Now we'll make the French knot. I'm doing 3, and then I'm gonna go up there. Have to hold that tight. There we go. It's kind of a teeny tiny one. Okay. So let's try it again. Now then, I'll try it again. 2. Go. I'm going to go a little further this time. Like there. There we go. That's a little bit better. Okay, I have a little more progress done here. I'm doing a fly stitch on these little leaves here. And I think that looks really cute. So I'll just do a few of these here. It's really nice to have a printed on guide. I haven't really used anything like that before, except for when I did some of my Christmas ornaments. I know my little like unicorn or my little horse that I did a drawing on that one, but I am finding it very helpful to have a drawing on here. And this is really tough because my hoop is getting in the way here. That's gonna have to be good enough. Then I move down to the next section here. So I'm just going to keep going with this stitch, and then I'll show you how I'm going to do these flowers here. Okay, I'm all finished with that, and I have moved my hoop so that I can work on this flower a little bit better. And I'm looking at these 2 little teardrop shapes here. To me, they kind of look like leaves. Like, I could kind of put a stem here and they could be leaves, or I thought they kind of almost look like petals falling off of the flower. So I'm trying to decide what color I'm going to go with that. I don't know that I want to do the same green. I don't know. I think I kind of want to do a darker green and have them to be leaves. And I could even add in a little stem right here as well. So I don't know. I don't know yet what I'm going to do. So maybe I should go ahead and work on the flower and then I'll come back to that after I think about it for a bit. So let's do that. So I know the center of this flower, I want it to be yellow, and I'm going to do like a satin stitch across this circle. Okay, I think that looks really cute. I think I want to do a white flower here. The only other color that this kit came with was a blue, but I didn't really want blue with these colors. So I'm going to do white, and I'm also going to do a satin stitch, but I think I'm going to do a satin stitch and like work my way around diagonally around this center, and I hope that that looks okay. So I'm gonna kind of pretend there's a line here and a line here, and I'm just gonna fill in that section. So I think instead of starting in the middle like I did with that one, I'm gonna start in this corner right here. We'll see how it goes. And I'm going to kind of draw a line to the center like that. And then actually I don't know, I think it's more comfortable for me to work this direction than that direction. I'm not really sure, but I don't know if it really matters. So I might just go this way. It feels more comfortable to me like this. In the past, I have not been very good at doing satin stitch, but with that said, I've only done satin stitch on knitwear, and it turned out very wonky and not very pretty. So I'm gonna try to do my best here to make this look good. Okay, I'm going to keep working and make my way around this flower, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, I went ahead and finished it all up. I love how these little flowers turned out, and I also just ended up filling these in with a different green, just a darker shade of green, and I filled them in the same way as I did these. And then I pressed it a little bit with my iron, and I think that helped to make it look a lot better. I couldn't get this hoop like marking out of it. I'm assuming this is like a cotton muslin. That's what it feels like. But like I said, I even kind of spritzed it with water and tried to steam these creases out of here, and it didn't really work. So I don't know. I really don't want to wash it before I start making my pillow, but if I wanted those wrinkles to come out, I guess that's probably what I would have to do. Anyway, I think it turned out really cute, and I had a lot of fun making this. So now you can see this is a very small piece of fabric. It's not very big for a pillow, because when it's like poofed out, it would only end up being like this big. So I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to add a border around the edges, and I've pulled out some of my scraps here just from different projects. I gave them a press with the iron, and I just picked colors and patterns that I thought would kind of go along with this pillow. So I'm just going to kind of cut those up kind of at random really and sew them together, and then I'll sew it onto this and see how it looks. I would like to have, let's see, how big is this? This is about 10 inches, though it's less than 10 inches. It's about 9.5 inches really, this little square is. So I want it to be at least 12 inches. So 9, 10, 11, 12. I think I'll add about 3 inches on each side of the square to make it bigger. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the back just yet. I'm pretty sure I have some fabric. I could just make a solid back. I have my own cotton muslin over here. I could just make it white, or I could make like a patchwork kind of backing to it. And I'm kind of leaning more in that direction. But first, we're going to finish up the top piece here. Okay, I was thinking of cutting this up and adding it to the front, which I probably will do a little bit of that, but I think I may use this fabric for my backing. I have some denim patches, and I thought I would sew these together and make that as the backing, but I'm kind of thinking I want this to be my backing. I love this print. It's kind of fall looking, but it will be the back of the pillow anyway. The pillow can be reversible, but I just love this print. So I think that's what I'm going to do. And I have plenty of it to make the backing for the pillow. After cutting my fabric, I just sew them together until I have a strip that's long enough for the pillow width. Now let's match up the patchwork with the pillow. You can see that I need a little extra on the corner, which I will fix before I sew these strips to the pillow. I start sewing with the top and bottom, then continue by sewing the sides. Can I have this? Can I have this? Thank you. Next, I cut out the backing, using the top as a guide. I want to add some whimsy to this pillow, so I cut out some small squares and then fold them into triangles, and adding these to each of the 4 corners. I really had to think through how I was going to attach these into the corners. Putting things together without instructions can really challenge your problem-solving skills, which just goes to show how crafting keeps your brain sharp. I ended up tacking the corner of the tassel down first. Then I folded the sides inward and pinned them so that the edges would not get caught in the seam allowance. Then, with right sides together, I pin the front and the back together and sew it together. Okay, I just finished sewing it all up. I did leave an opening here for the stuffing. I don't know. I hope this works out. It's time to turn it inside out and let's see what happens. I'm doing this on camera. I can already tell. Oh no, that's because of the pins. Oh, I'm gonna have to take those pins out. Well, of course I'm gonna have to take them out, but what I mean is I'm gonna have to take them out in order to get my corners out. Okay, I hope this worked out. I really wanted the cute little tassels on the corner of my pillow. And I had to make my seam allowance go a little wonky because I didn't want a lot of that little tassel to be caught in the seam allowance. So, oh no. Well, that's a problem already. Dang. Okay, let me fix that. You see that right there? I didn't get that denim close enough and it came apart. Okay, let me fix that real quick before I move on. Okay, I think I fixed that part. Hopefully it doesn't look too bad. It does look kind of bad. Maybe it won't be that noticeable. It is in the corner of the pillow, so. And this pillow, you know, it's just for me. It's not for anyone else. Oh my goodness, I did it again. It's this denim. Oh my word. Okay, now, 3rd time's a charm. Hopefully I got all the little bits that didn't get caught. Oh man, that's gonna look terrible. Well, this project, you guys, it might kind of be a bit of a fail. I don't know. We'll take it all out and press it and see how it looks. Maybe it won't look so bad after it's been pressed. And like I said, it's just for me. But I still want it to be cute. Okay. Oh my word. I don't know how this happened. I really don't. Oh, that's so annoying. Okay, ironing things works wonders. It looks a lot better. It is wonky over here on this edge, but I don't know. I'm going to stuff it and see what it looks like in the end. I think the rest of it looks pretty cute. These turned out pretty cute. If I was going to do it again and I was going to do something like this, I would sew it up, leave the corners open, iron the little corners down, put those in, and stitch those separately from the right side. If I was going to do it again, that's what I would do, because this method did not turn out so well. But you know, you live and learn, and we're always experimenting and we're always trying new things because that's how we learn how to do stuff. So anyway, I'm going to stuff it and let's see how it looks. Okay, now I have it, it's pretty plump. I have this problem going on. I wish I would have stitched up here so I wasn't putting stress on these stitches, and I back stitched, I thought, all of this, but apparently not good enough because those stitches are coming out. So, this project has, I made some mistakes here in this project. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to stitch this down, and then I'm going to fix this. I'm just going to top stitch it. It's in the corner. It's in the wonky corner too. It's already kind of, messed up there. So it is what it is. I'm going to fix that by hand because I think it will be easier, and then we'll be done. Okay, I have finished up all of the stitch work on the bottom, and then I also kind of stitched this together. I'm glad that most of my mistakes, well, this is where I sewed up, the stuffing area, but most of my mistakes happened toward the bottom of the pillow, so they don't really show. And yesterday I was pretty frustrated with all the mistakes that I had made. But today, looking at it with fresh eyes, I think it turned out pretty cute for what it is. I mean, I did have that mistake here. I did have to sew in some stitching there. But when it's all stuffed and you're just kind of looking at it as a whole, it's not that bad. Sometimes you make things and they turn out great. Sometimes you struggle the whole time, and that's just kind of how life is, right? So I hope that, you've gotten something out of this video. But I did finish another one of my projects. I really like the embroidery work, and I really like how it's kind of framed with this patchwork. I'm a big fan of patchwork, and I think the patchwork turned out really cute and was pretty simple to do. And I used up a lot of my scraps. Well, not a lot, but I used up some of my scraps because I'm only gaining more and more scraps as I sew more things. So I'm going to have to be doing something with my scraps because they're starting to take over. But anyway, I really do like how it turned out. I think it's cute in my little chair, and this will be a great kind of lumbar support for me as I sew, because sometimes I have a little bit of back pain when I'm sewing, and so I think this will help me out. It's really kind of fluffy and bumpy right now. I really like it when pillows have that kind of lived in look and they get a little bit flat, which will happen naturally over time with this pillow. But anyway, that's all I have for today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. What unfinished projects have you been working on? I would love to hear about them, so please share in the comments if you want to. And I will see you next week. Bye. So this, if you can't tell, I'll give you some close-ups here. Oh, yikes. Bird just flew into the window. I hope it's okay. So, okay, let me focus.